Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Pablo and welcome back to the channel. I'm bringing you guys another episode of the Collin Sexton MyCareer here in NBA 2K18, and this will be the second episode in this mini series. And we're midway through the season at this point, and surprisingly the Cleveland Cavaliers hold the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. They're actually competing with this experienced lineup, but they do have an injury to George Hill, and we're going to take a look at Collin Sexton's season so far. He's going to be starting in this gameplay due to the injury of George Hill. So he's going to be missing some extended time. This is the perfect time for Collin Sexton to shine and show that he can be the star of this team. And versus the Houston Rockets, I think that'll be a very good test for Collin Sexton to see how he stacks up versus some of the most elite talent that the NBA has to offer in the backcourt. But before we get into that gameplay versus CP3 and James Harden, we're going to take an in-depth look at Collin's stats so far through 50 games. Right now, as I mentioned earlier, the Cavaliers are competing. They're 28-22, and Collin Sexton right now is averaging 11.3 points per game and then 2.3 assists per game. So he's clearly that scoring spark off of the bench. We're going to take a quick look at his game log. Quick note, his season high in scoring is 29 points. So in this gameplay, because this is going to be a short series, I'm going to try to go for that, see how close to that I can get, going into the starting lineup with George Hill being out with an injury. But I'm going to try to give you guys some really good gameplay here as we conclude this series. This will be episode 2 of 3. I originally planned on making this a 5-episode series, but I went ahead and decided that we're going to do 3 because 2K is coming out 2 days after you guys are watching this video. So I'm going to be posting that very soon. I'm going to have a MyCareer on that most likely. And you guys definitely have stuff to look forward to as far as the next 2K. And around the time when the season actually starts is when I'll start my league, because I like to make sure we have all the up-to-date trades. You know, there's always that one trade that you miss if you start it right at the release date. So I'm going to wait a couple of weeks before I start the my league. But my whole point is this: we're going to be concluding this series very, very soon. So definitely tune in for this episode, and then the final episode, which will be a roundup of his stats, the other players in the league, how we stacked up versus other rookies, and then we're gonna have a summary of how the Cavaliers did as a whole. But in this matchup, it's gonna be tough because we're facing a tandem of CP3 and James Harden. You guys saw a close-up on those guys, but that's who we're gonna have to come out and try and shut down. I know it's probably not gonna happen because it's impossible to shut down James Harden unless you're in the playoffs. But anyway, it's tough to shut down those guys, especially when there's 2 of them and you're going to be playing against one of the 2 at all times at the point guard position. So the most we could really do is make it tough for them, and then we're going to try to get some baskets of our own because, like I said, we're going for the career high in this game. So stay tuned to see if I make it, but we're going to get fouled by Chris Paul right there. So that's one thing that Collin Sexton does really well. He's able to use that burst of speed to get to the rim and then draw fouls at the rack. But there he blows by Chris Paul and gets the easy lay-in. So that's a basket right there. And then we have a screen from Kevin Love, kick back out to him. He's going to knock down the long-range tray ball. So we really like playing with Kevin Love. He's a great shooter. But as for Collin Sexton, he's not that great. As you guys see, he's wide open with a good release, but he misses the 3-point shot attempt. And there he's going to get an and one over the defense of the new Houston Rocket, Carmelo Anthony. Melo can't believe the call, but that will give the Cavs the early lead in this game, 20-18. We do go to the line and sink the free throw, so that's a complete 3-point play for the rookie right there. But later on, the Cavs are trailing as we expected. The Rockets were able to come back and regain the lead, and Carmelo Anthony in transition with an easy layup pass from James Harden, and there's a pull-up mid-range shot by Collin Sexton, who actually has the star icon next to his name. So that was pretty surprising to see him have that this early, but I was excited to see that, and he is playing well. You guys saw the game log earlier. He was playing solid with a limited amount of minutes. But back to the game right now, we are trailing by 16, so the Cavs have really let this one get away, and in front of the home crowd, as Collin is going to find Kevin Love in the corner for 3, and we're going into halftime, and we are trailing big. Like I said, we were holding the lead in the first quarter, but then we let it slip away, and they were really able to take control of the game in the second quarter. But we are trailing by 11 in this game so far. It is 61-50. We're not really close to our career high, but we are playing solid. We're actually leading in scoring at this time. Kevin Love has hit a couple of threes, but really hasn't done much else. And here in the third quarter, we are trailing by 16 now. And we're going screen from Tristan Thompson, getting a pull-up mid-range shot to go down. And right now we're playing very efficiently. We had 15 points on 71% shooting in just 18 minutes. And defensively, we're not playing too bad either, keeping Chris Paul and James Harden in check to the best of our ability. They're getting their numbers, but we're not making it easy for them to do that. And Chris Paul is on skates right now. Collin Sexton crosses over, blows by, and finds Tristan for an easy lay-in. Nice play by the rookie right there, having the veteran on skates. And if Collin can continue to play like that with consistency and make plays like that, I should say, he's definitely going to be the starter for the remainder of this season. But there he is fouled. He's going to go to the line. And on the next play, he's finding Tristan Thompson, who gets the putback. But in the meantime, he does go to the line to knock down both free throws there in the bottom left-hand corner. And right here, a nice crossover and mid-range pull-up. That's something we've seen from Collin with some consistency. But that would be his final basket of the game. The Cleveland Cavaliers still get blown out by a score of 135-102. So a lot of these points were garbage time points. The game was already decided. But that still does not take away from the solid showing that Collin Sexton did have. He was able to lead the Cavaliers in scoring with 25 points and 4 assists as well on 7 of 10 shooting, so 70%, and then 11 free throws, 100% from the line as well. So that's very solid, leading the team in scoring. Kevin Love really was a no-show in this game, so that's probably why we lost so badly. But like I said, a very solid game. Collin was able to feel very comfortable from mid-range and then also getting to the line. So that's what we like to see. If he can build on that, like I said, he'll definitely remain the starter. But definitely look out for the next episode. We will be summarizing this series by taking a look at the final season stats and seeing how the Cavaliers will perform in the playoffs if they do make it. So stay tuned for that episode. I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.